Hello everyone, welcome to today's fun math practice. Let's see the first question. It's about how to solve a real life problem. Let's see what it is. Today, Pip, Rena, and Bud eat peaches from a tree. As you can see here, Pip ate two more than half of the peaches, while Rena ate 10 fewer than half of the remaining peaches. But ate 15 peaches. At this point, there are exactly 9 peaches left on the tree. If we want to know how many peaches were there on the tree in the very beginning, what shall we do? This time, it's a bit different from the ordinary questions. We don't know how many peaches were there at first, but we know what is the result. So, in other words, when we know the result, we want to solve the original amount, we need to work backward. It's much different from the usual questions. To solve this one, we need to use a train diagram to help us figure out the process of the whole step. As you can see, here are too many steps, and we just know the result. First, we can use every box of this string to represent how many peaches are left after we take something away. Then, we just need to work backwards to solve them step by step. Let's see. When we know a Pip ate two more than half of the peaches, first we need to know which kind of operation does half and more than represent. When we say what is half of 10, we will use great 10 divided by 2 to get it. It should be 5. When we say what is 2 more than 10, that means we need to use 10 plus 2. It should be 12. So as you can see, half represents division, while more than or fewer than represents addition or subtraction. We have say multiplication or division is much more advanced than addition and subtraction. In other words, we should always do the division before addition or subtraction. So here, when we say 2 more than half of the peaches, first we need to figure out what is half of the whole page number. Also, you can just draw it out. Pip ate 2 more than half of the peaches. First, he ate 2. He ate half of the peaches. Then we draw another 2. So as you can see, the remaining amount should be 2 fewer than half. First, get the half by divided by 2. Then take another 2 away. We can get the remainder. Next step, Rena ate 10 fewer than half of the remaining peaches. This time, also we need to get half of it. Then it's 10 fewer than half. In other words, I didn't eat so much. This time, the remaining amount should be 10 more than half of the remainder. Finally, Bud ate 15 peaches. Take another 15 away. We can get the remaining number should be 9 peaches. Then, let's work backwards first. When we work forward, it is minus. When we work backwards, it will become, plus. So minus 15 becomes plus 15. Plus 10 will become minus 10. Division will become its inverse operation, which is multiplication, and minus 2 becomes plus 2, just like this. And now we can start to calculate from the result step by step to get the original amount. First, we get what is 9 plus 15. It should be 24. Next, 24 minus 10 is gonna be 14. And then 14 times 2, we can get 28. Then 28 plus 2, it is 30. Finally, we just need to multiply 30 by 2. Here we can get 60. After we draw the train diagram, everything becomes so easy. We can work it out. Here should be 60 peaches in the very beginning. That's how we solve it. In the second question, let's try to draw our oven tree diagram. You don't need to draw such a vivid train. You just need to use a box, use a rectangle to represent the remainder in each step, and use arrows to show the working process. Now let's read the question properly first. Here we know Reno's class is sharing coins, and Lisa takes away one more than half of the coins. Then Anto gets two fewer than half of the remaining coins. Next, Bobby gains three more than half of the remainder. Finally, there are still two coins left. This is the final amount. Now, let's draw the box. Yeah, here we know in the very beginning, there would be some coins. Use a question mark to represent it. First, Lisa takes one more than half of the coins. Gets the half by divided by 2. Then it should be if he took one more than half. In other words, the remaining amount should be 1 less than half, so minus another 1. Then here, Anto gets 2 fewer than half of the remaining coins, get half of the remainder. Then it should be 10 fewer than. In other words, he didn't take so much. Let's give the 2 coins back. Next, it should be Bobby. Bobby gains 3 more than half of the remainder. Get the half first, then, because that should be 3 more than half of that. So if he take another 3 for the remainder, here should be 3 less than half of that. Finally, here are 2 coins left. Now we can start to work backwards. When we work backward, we can draw all arrows first. Every time, if you just do one single thing, it's easier to avoid any unnecessary mistakes. Draw all arrows to represent or to remind yourself what is the step or what is the next step. Now let's see. Minus 3a becomes its inverse operation plus 3. Division becomes multiplication and plus becomes minus. In this way, you can get all steps quickly and it's quite accurate. Now we can start to calculate each step. First, what is 2 plus 3? It is gonna be 5. Then 5 times 2 equals 10. 10 minus 2, that is 8. And 10 times 2 equals 16. Next, we add 1 to 16, we can get 17. For the last step, we just need to multiply 2 by 17, which should be 34. This time, by drawing our oven diagram, we can also get, here should be 34 coins. Finally, you can check it. If Lisa takes one more than half of the coins, and then after the several steps, can you get 2 left? If you can, that means it must be correct. So that's all for today's practice. Let's explore and enjoy math together. In the last day's practice, it's about a really interesting question, one-stroke problem. Now let's see what does that mean. Eddie and Ivor are discussing the question. The requirements include we need to ensure the pen cannot leave the paper and the lines cannot repeat. After we start to draw it, we cannot start at another point again. When we say the lines cannot repeat after we go through the line, we cannot go back again. When we say the points can be repeated, like this point, point A, after we go through this point A, when we draw another part, we can also go through it again. In this way, we can draw the bird out within one stroke. It's not so perfect, but also we can make it. Of course, you can starting from the other point to draw it out in one stroke. You can try these two methods by yourself, Or you can check. If you start at another point, can you draw that in one stroke? Like the point A, if we start from here, can we draw this whole bird in one stroke? After you try many times, you will find the pattern steadily. Let's see. I have already prepared more shapes for you to find the pattern. Now we need to know that among the following shapes, without lifting our pen from the paper, we're going over a line twice. We can draw 4 of them in one stroke. But we need to figure out which one cannot be drawn in one stroke. Let's see then. So if we want to know the pattern, that means we need to understand one thing. All 2D shapes are made up of 1D shape, which is line. Now I prepared a line. You can also get a line by yourself. Hope you can see this properly. Yeah, this is a line in my hand. As long as it is one single line. Now, after I just straighten this line, stretch it. So, can you draw that in one stroke? Of course, you are able to make it. But if I make it into some like, I just circle that, like this kind. Can you also draw this shape in one stroke? Let's see. Can we make it? Of course, because it's made by one string. So in other words, as long as we make that in one line, we can always ensure it will be drawn in one stroke. Now, the thing we need to do is try to study the property of one single line. It will, starting from the 2 ending points. There is only one line stretching to the other direction. But if you start from the point in the middle, there will be 2 lines extending to the different directions. So let's see, for every single string, how many ending points does it have? Yeah, that is, it should be 2 ending points. If starting one point, there will be 2 lines extending to the other directions or extending to different directions. We call this as an even vertex. If from one point there are 3 lines or 1 line or 5 lines, there are odd number of lines stretching to or extending to different directions. We call this vertex as odd vertex. The odd and the even refers to the number of strings starting from the point, and they will extend to different directions. Now let's see, in a single string, how many lines or how many odd vertices are here? Great, it should be 2. In other words, as long as we can find the 2 odd vertices, we can ensure this shape will be drawn in one stroke. But what about circle? For this line, I can also make it into a circle. Like I can use my finger to make a circle directly. It's also one straight line. I can draw it in one stroke. So, but for a circle, you can notice that the point is, no matter which is the point you are studying, there will be 2 lines extending to different directions. So if there is no odd vertices or no odd vertex, we can also draw that in one stroke. Here are 2 options if we want to ensure this shape can be drawn in one stroke. We will find 0 or 2 odd vertices. Now, let's try to use this method to solve this question properly. Here, as you can see, we need to know what kind of or how many lines stretching, extending from that point, from this point 2 lines, from this point 2 lines, this point 3, 2, 2, 3. Find all points first and just name it. In the first picture, here are two odd points. So can we draw that in one stroke? Yeah, and also as you can see, there's another point. You must start from the odd point or odd vertex if you want to draw that in one stroke. Let's check this method in the second picture. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting from the point, here are 4 lines extending to different directions. Here are 2, 2, 4, 4. In this shape, there is no odd vertex. So let's see, can we draw this in one stroke? Great. Now let's try our best to do this. No matter which point you start with, you can draw that in one stroke because there is zero odd vertex. Now let's see the next one. This point we have 4, 4, 4. And for this point it's 2, 2, 2. In other words, there is no odd point. So you should be able to draw this shape in one stroke with certain tricks. Let's try this way. Now we made it. How about the next one? 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 2. Or you can just ensure you get all points all points of the same type. Then here should be 4, 2, 2. No odd point again. Let's check the next one. So let's try to draw it out first before we go to the next one. Yeah, here, and then let's just go through all lines. We can go to the same point again. Done, make it. For the last one in the middle, it has 4 lines extending to different direction. From this point, here are 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, extending to or pointing to different directions. Starting from the point, 3 lines. Starting from this point, 3, 3. This time, here are 4 odd vertices. It's not 0, it's not 2, it's 4. You can check. Can you draw out this shape in one stroke, even if you start from the odd point? Also, we can't make it. So the last one shouldn't be drawn in one stroke because it has more than 0 or 2 odd vertices. That's for this problem. Based on the pattern we have found, let's see, can you draw this in one stroke? This is a map of the street layout. The letters represent the intersections in the street. Help the cleaners design a route that covers all the streets without going back to the same street. How to make it? For the odd point, here are yeah, great. You will find we must be able to make it. And the starting point should always be the odd vertex. So as long as you start from A or B, you should be able to make it. In this way, we can get it can be A, D, B, A, C, B. Also, you can start from B. Let's try to start from B and check it again. If this time we start from B, it can be B, A, C, B, A. So in this way, we can also make it B, A, D, B, A, D, B, A, C, B, A, C. Of course, you can get other ways. I just demonstrate 2 different methods. The point is we should find 2 or 0 odd vertices, and then we need to start with the odd vertex. That's all for today's practice. So let's enjoy and explore math in the next fun math practice camp. See you next time. Bye bye.